Taking your 9-year-old to an Olivia Rodrigo concert? It's a bad idea, right? Hello everyone, my name is Bridget. Welcome to my channel. So Olivia Rodrigo recently started a world tour for her latest album, Guts. And some people, mostly parents, are not happy with the content of her concert. And these people are upset about the fact that her concert is not kid-friendly. Not even close.
Not even a little bit. Not even at all.
Now, to understand why people had this expectation and why they're upset about this, you have to understand a little bit about Olivia Rodrigo's rise to popularity. For those of you who don't know who Olivia Rodrigo is, you must have a roommate named Patrick, because how? Olivia Rodrigo first became known on the Disney Channel as a child actor in shows like Bizaardvark and High School Musical, the series, which is a terrible name, but anyways. However, it was her 2021 album Sour, which was released in the middle of a pandemic, that really catapulted her into fame. This album contained songs like Driver's License and Good For You, which blew up on social media and caused her to become one of the most prominent Gen Z artists. And Olivia won 3 Grammys for this album. Fast forward to 2023, Olivia Rodrigo released her second studio album, Guts. Now, in my opinion, Guts is leaps and bounds ahead of Sour, songwriting-wise. Not that Sour is a bad album, it's just very teenager-y, which I know is absolutely insane since she was 18 when it came out. But Guts definitely covers some more mature topics, which is where people start having a problem with her. Due to her background on the Disney Channel and her relatively young fan base, parents brought their elementary school-aged children to the Guts tour, thinking it would be a child-friendly show. They know her from the Disney Channel, she's a wholesome, sweet artist, and they expected Bizaardvark, but instead, they got this. The thing is, Olivia Rodrigo is a 21-year-old grown woman now. She's not the same person she was when she was on the Disney Channel, and she's not even the same person she was when she released Sour. You can't expect her to cater her shows to children just because she was on the Disney Channel when she was a kid. It seems to me that Olivia Rodrigo is experiencing the Miley Cyrus effect. What Olivia is going through now with Guts is very similar to what Miley Cyrus went through in 2013 with Bangers. You could say we're experiencing some deja vu here, where these women who rose to stardom as children are forever trapped in people's minds as being that same child, even when they're well into adulthood. And when these women who are adults now start talking about drinking, they start talking about sex, normal adult things, people lose their minds. This issue is not just limited to women either. In recent years, we've seen Justin Bieber try to escape the teen idol image he built for himself when he was younger. And these people who get trapped in this box of being child stars almost have to go out of their way to do these provocative things as a way to tell the world, hey, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm an adult. Take me seriously. The thing is, it doesn't even require you to do a deep dive to find out that this show would most likely not be child friendly. I mean, both of Olivia Rodrigo's studio albums are more than 50% explicit songs, and they both have a parental advisory warning on them. On top of that, Olivia's opener, Chapel Roan, is even more provocative than Olivia herself. This also comes down to parents not wanting to be parents. It's not an artist's job to control what your child is consuming. It's your job as a parent to be aware of what your child is consuming. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that you have to monitor everything they do. I do think children deserve some level of privacy. That being said, if you're paying hundreds of dollars for your child to see this artist, maybe, just maybe, you should do a tiny bit of research on them before going to the concert. Crazy idea, I know. I mean, the first track of Guts is called All American Bitch. Like, babe, what were you expecting? I also want to add that Olivia Rodrigo is not even doing anything that crazy. Like, there are artists out there who regularly do way more provocative things in their shows than Olivia's doing in the Guts tour. In honor of her 21st birthday, Olivia released shot glasses as merchandise, and people are mad saying she's promoting alcoholism. She's 21. She's allowed to drink. That's what 21-year-olds do. People want these artists that rose to popularity as kids to remain kids forever. I saw this TikTok of someone comparing the Eras tour to the Guts tour by showing Taylor Swift giving a young fan a hat during her song 22, and showing Olivia Rodrigo doing a very sexualized motion in her song Obsessed. And the caption said, "These are not the same shows." And first of all, Can we stop comparing women to each other and act like they have to be the same? Olivia's show and Taylor's show can be completely different. Just because they're both women in music doesn't mean they're gonna have the same show. And second of all, that's kind of a biased comparison because it's not like the Eras Tour is exactly family friendly either. It definitely has its more suggestive moments, especially with Sabrina Carpenter being Taylor's current opener. Sabrina's music and stage performance is not really any less provocative than Olivia's. Not to mention that your child will probably be around a lot of screaming drunk people at the Eras Tour as well. Like, Olivia's 21, she's living her adult life for the first time. You can't expect her to be the same girl she was on the Disney Channel when she was a kid. When you're 21, your life is changing so much. Olivia's dating people, she's drinking, she's having fun, she's being an adult. And for people who say Olivia Rodrigo's overdoing it a little bit, yeah, maybe. You know what? She was homeschooled, okay? Homeschoolers are repressed. As a fellow homeschooled girl who just turned 21, I relate. We didn't get to have our rebellious phase in high school, so we gotta make up for it in our 20s. So what if she's swearing and wearing skimpy clothes and talking about drinking? Just maybe don't take your child to her shows then. I mean, literally, if you just listen to one of her songs, you would know that this music was not made for children. It's made for people like Olivia, women in their 20s. I also kind of disagree with the notion that Olivia has this like extremely underage fan base, because I know Olivia Rodrigo fans of all ages, including fans that are much older than I am. In fact, I think Olivia has managed to secure fans of all generations by pulling influences from artists from the 90s and 2000s like Gwen Stefani, Avril Lavigne, and Alanis Morissette. I also think another issue that comes into play here is the lack of media created for the tween demographic nowadays. Now, back in my day, we had artists like One Direction that were clearly targeting the tween demographic of 8 to 12-year-olds. But now I can't think of a modern day equivalent of One Direction. And I think that's why these tween-aged children now are consuming more mature content, because there's no media for their demographic out now. I think this issue is also reflective of the what about me-ism of today's culture. With social media algorithms designing your feed to be exactly what you want to see at all times, I feel like it's rewired people's brains to expect everything to be catered to their likings at all times. And that's not the point of art. It's not an artist's job to cater to you or your child. The whole point in concerts is for an artist to be able to visually represent their music in the way they envision it, not in the way you or your child wants it to be. In conclusion, artists do not owe people anything. It's not their job to be what you expect them to be. In fact, art is about pushing boundaries. Instead, if you're going to see a live show, it's important for you to research the artist and know what to expect, especially if you're bringing a young, impressionable child with you. An artist is responsible for creating their art in the most authentic way they can. They shouldn't have to accommodate what other people want from them. And if you don't like what an artist is doing, you don't have to support them. If you think an artist is too mature for your child, then simply don't take them to the show. I honestly don't even think 9-year-olds should be going to concerts in general. Like, they're loud, they're long, you're around a lot of drunk people. Like, that's not a safe environment for a child. I mean, I didn't even go to my first concert until a couple months ago. So that's gonna do it for my thoughts on the Olivia Rodrigo Guts Tour controversy. I just think this is such a silly and avoidable issue that could be solved by people just being parents. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.